Well, let's see. Does this work? Hey, everybody. It is Sunday, February 21st, 2021, and we're here in the Ration Museum archives. Let's see if this actually worked. I just gotta double check on YouTube. Oh, sweet. Okay, thanks, Pete. That's easy enough. All right, so glad you guys are here. Let's get some howdies out of the way. Howdy, Sunshine. Rachel. Howdy, Pete. Howdy, Jesse. Jeremiah. Corey. Kaylin. JW speaker. Chris. Wow, we got the whole gang already. Welcome. So today I'm back in the archive room, and as you guys can see, and we're gonna build some shelves today. We're gonna just talk about where the project is. Just gonna take a bit of a break from all the ration photography and the super long streams. I know, shelves. I mean, for the museum, they're pretty important. You know, these great big industrial shelves. You know, with the heavy load per shelf and all that kind of stuff has really helped, you know, organize the museum in terms of letting us break everything up and know that the weight is going on a shelf, not on another box of rations underneath, you know. So for the last 4 years before the museum archives existed, everything had to be packed, stacked, and you know, that wasn't great for all the rations. Most of everything was in hard shell boxes, and you know, certainly packed from heaviest at the bottom to lightest on top, with all the empties and stuff up at the very top. And all the empty crates and cases were in large outer boxes filled with packing peanuts and foam and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, overall, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't like everything was getting smushed bit by bit, but still, it's much better to have nothing at all stacked on top of anything else. Although you guys can see in the background maybe some empty boxes and stuff down the hallways that I have stacked. So today we've got several roaming cameras. We've got, hopefully we'll have a nice enough view while we're working on the shelves, so that, yeah, I mean, there's going to be plenty of noise and all that, but hopefully you guys can at least follow along, and I'm just going to kind of talk through the project again while we're doing all that. I just finally got this place a little bit warmer. It was in the 50s when I got in here, so in the office, so had to track down a space heater and fire it up for a little bit. I mean, it's good for the rations, right? Keep everything super cold. You know, only warm it up a little bit on the weekends. Original fireman canceled. Welcome. Good to see you. And Joe and Gail and let's see, Yossi Burstein. Good to meet you. Welcome. You know, good to see you in here. Hope you enjoy the stream this week. We're just gonna keep on plugging through the project bit by bit. So, bit of an introduction for anybody who's their first time here, or anybody who's just starting this video later on after it goes live. This is the Military Ration Museum project. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Our purpose is to eventually have a home for the history of military food production, so that we can share that with the general public and with the internet and the whole world. So we're dedicated to preserving not only the rations themselves, the boxes, the equipment, the books, the history of all of that, but you know, we're dedicated to preserving the stories that go along with them, and the advancements in food technology that came as a result of the need to feed, you know, millions of people, hundreds of thousands of people, whatever it happened to be at the time, on, you know, over distance, throughout long periods of uncertainty in terms of military campaigns pushing into territory where they're not going to get local supplies, and for an undetermined amount of time, all that kind of stuff is what we're focused on here. So I'm Sean. There's a handful of other folks involved in the museum project so far, all volunteers, and bit by bit we're going to get this thing to be something we can all be proud of. So yeah, Old Smoky, I see you mentioning him, so I assume you came in from him. He's somebody we absolutely have to say thanks to every time. He's been the best proponent for getting people excited about the museum and continuing to talk on his channel, and just constantly bringing new folks in here and sharing his excitement about the project. He and I talk about the museum and our goals all the time, and it's exciting to have somebody like him and folks like all of you joining in. So all right, let's see if we can swap over to these other cameras, get you guys a feel for what I'm setting up. Let's see. So we've got a couple new cameras. Let's see if these actually work. We've got a little bit of a delay, it looks like. So, which one is this? This is 2 in the background. Oh, gonna have to mute that. Hey, that's Black Dog Bob. This is bad timing, Bob. Gonna have to get back to you if you happen to be in the chat. And that reminds me, gotta mute this. But hope he's doing all right. Haven't had a chance to talk to him in a little while. So let's see. We're gonna switch back to laptop with the original camera in the corner, and looks like this second camera might not work out for me today. It's just running a little bit slower than the other one, so I'm actually just gonna shut it down for now, and we will give that a shot next time. I've been down here for a couple hours so far today, just trying to get more and more set up. Oh, and no worries at all, Yossi. Take your time, and we won't yell at you if the text in here doesn't make 100% sense. So I was trying to expand a little bit in terms of the equipment, getting another camera set up, being able to hopefully stream to more than one platform, all that kind of stuff. But of course, everything takes a little longer than I think it will, and just bit by bit, we're making a little progress each weekend before the stream starts. So not everything worked exactly as planned. I don't know if anybody's been able to check it out just yet, but we've got the Instagram launched. So if you look at the channel header up there, if you can see the channel header above me, or if you're on just youtube.com/rationmuseum, you'll see all the new icons across there. We've got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, our own site, and something else. Oh, Discord. We've got all that stuff, attached the way we're supposed to have it attached now. So we've got, let's see, we've got the shelves over here, and we're gonna bust into these, because the point here is that I've got to stop piling things in the corner. Most of these are things that we're going to need to work on, cleaning up and restoration wise. So they've been kept away from the regular rations on the regular shelves. Just don't want anything to leak or to spread or any of that. Yeah, Corey, we do need to keep more going in there in the Discord. One nice thing about the Discord is any pictures or any posts or anything in there are permanent. So, unlike I was just trying to scroll back through a conversation on the on the MRE info Slack, and remembered, we only have so many messages before it cuts off. So I gotta copy some of that stuff out of there before it rolls beyond that 10,000 message mark. I've got a museum set up, Slack set up for the museum, but haven't been using that. Really, nobody has, so I might cancel that and focus more on the Discord. I'm not sure yet. We'll figure that kind of stuff out. Hey, Smitty, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good Sunday. For anybody watching, I just want to also say today's my grandfather's birthday. That's Edward Fitzgerald. Happy birthday. 92nd birthday today. And I think my grandma might be watching, so just wanted to say hi and say happy birthday to my grandfather. So let's see. Yeah, permanent in the Discord, in the sense that we could have a million messages in there and it's not going to delete anything. So yeah, Yossi, most of us Americans are we take a little bit of another language in high school, but after that, most of us lose it, and we're just solo language folks over here, which I always gotta say, it's impressive. Most of the rest of the world picks up 2 or 3, and I'm always impressed when I see somebody like you that's got Hebrew, Spanish, English, etc. In your head all the time. That's neat. It's dedication to get that far with languages. I took Spanish and Japanese, and I couldn't speak either of those right now. Little bits maybe, but all right. So let's see. We've got. Maybe it'll make sense to put this over by the light. And for the most part, I'm going to hop down on the floor and work on this because it weighs a ton. We're just going to get started. I don't have the great big TV set up or Nick paying attention to chat for me this time, so my apologies in advance when I drift from the chat. Anybody that's asking anything directly, please use @RationMuseum. Hopefully, I'll spot that a little easier. But yeah, we're gonna build 2 new sets of heavy shelving and try and get some of this stuff a little better organized. Actually, this looks like it's going to be pretty straightforward. Hopefully all the banging noise isn't too bad, but, word of warning, it might be a loud one. So, throughout this, we've, moved slow. I don't know if anybody remembers back to the first couple streams. It was, let's see, maybe I can tilt this down and you guys can see. Samsung main laptop corner. There we go. Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember back to the first couple streams where I was still in my old apartment, and I had just gotten a handful of shelves. I tell you, just a little organization really starts to let the brain wander and get back to creativity instead of just constantly wondering what the heck is in the pile, So, let's see. This is an Edsel. I don't think it's spelled the same as the old car company. Yeah, Joe, most of these kinds of shelves aren't cheap. They're not bank breaking, but I think most of these were around $70 or $80 per shelf. Just because each one has, I think, about a 500-pound weight on each of the shelves. So, for instance, this one right behind me has like 1,000 pounds. Maybe it's 250 per shelf, and it's like 1,000 or 1,250 pound max weight on each shelf. So, I need that just because some of these individual cases can get pretty heavy. Most of them are around 30 pounds a piece. That's pretty much your average when you're talking about a case of rations. So, before you know it, you have four cases on one shelf or 3 cases on one shelf, and you're well over 100 pounds already. So you need something that's not going to sag at all. Because if you set it up and it's already sagging a little bit, just imagine 5 years down the road, it's going to collapse on through. Let's see, we've got some more folks joining in. Tim, welcome. Got 3 inches of snow where you're at. Thankfully, it stayed nice and clear here in Philly. It's been, man, oh man, it's been icy and crunchy and cold winter over here for once. Yeah, Kaylin, I saw your pictures of the snowfall out there in Iowa today. That's looking pretty nice out there. Doesn't look too bad. We've been, I act like we've got we've got an actual winter here in Philly, but it's still only snowed, I think, a total of about a foot, maybe at most 2 feet here all winter. At my grandparents', I think it's almost 3 feet just over a week or so ago. That was a big one. That's like the old days. So I'll do one at a time. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. So let's see. I'm gonna have a build space right about here. And what do we got? I was thinking, growing up in northeastern PA, we had a couple heavy snow years. 1993, 1996 were definitely heavy ones. I know there was one snowstorm we had. I want to say it was over 4 feet, maybe it was closer to 6 feet, and they closed out the roads and all that kind of stuff around us, and plows didn't get there for, I want to say 7 or 10 days, something like that. We were the kind of family, we had a wood stove for heat. We had oil lamps, quite a few of them in the house for light when the power would go out. We had our own well. We had a basement full of canned and jarred stuff that, we had grown in our own garden and my mom had canned, and simple stuff to keep us going. And we stayed up there on Red Hill in the snow and barely noticed that much had changed. It was a nice little vacation from school. You don't need electricity necessarily. Now, that being said, my heart goes out to everybody down there in Texas that didn't expect, a winter like this. And, people want to throw blame around, but, come on, you build for what's going to happen, and they haven't had anything like this in 100 years. So it's just, hope the luck turns down there. Welcome, Bus Stop. Welcome, Michelle. Good to see you both. So we're doing something super exciting tonight. We're building some shelves. I hope you guys enjoy. All right, so these look really simple to build compared to all the other ones. Like these have the tabs in them, and over there have these like kind of slotted pieces, and you had to hammer everything together. I don't think I'm going to have to hammer anything with these. It's all, let's see if we can get a good look at that. It's all these neat little metal clips, and we're going to put them into pretty simple sockets. So we should be able to get this done in the first hour, I hope. And then we can start figuring out where everything goes on those. And if all goes well, I want to take a case of one of the less than perfect condition cases of rations home and potentially do next week from my house. I think I might have mentioned last week that I was going to do that this week, but you know how it is. I still have a day job and a day-to-day to take care of before before museum time, and sometimes plans go awry. Plus, if I forget at the end of the day to pop something in the car, then it's a little bit before I can get back here and get another shot at it. So don't let me forget. End of the stream, I want to grab one of these cases of less than perfect condition rations and take them home, and then we'll do a restoration stream where we'll at least start cleaning up and salvaging what we can from, say, like an old case of MCIs or something like that. Because there's going to be plenty of times where you guys come across something that isn't really safe to ship in its current condition, isn't really safe to store in its current condition. You look at it and you know it's going to get worse. So, it's not always the best case, for anyone to say, I'm going to just keep it original for the sake of keeping it original. Sometimes you have to take the rations out. Sometimes you have to cut that can and empty it out, or else it's just going to rot. It's just going to, it's going to go bad. It's going to turn into rust, and then the contents will leak through onto whatever you've got below it or onto the shelf around it, etc. So we've got these things with a little bit of a notch in them, and I'm thinking they're going to fit together a very particular way. Let's see. So we want we want the lip at the top, and then let's see. We'll want to try and get it as close to the same height as the other shelves as we can. Just testing comparatively. That's fine. We'll start one notch up. And notice I'm not seeing anything in the way of plastic feet for these things, so just got to be a little careful. All the other ones I've gotten so far have plastic caps for the feet and for the tops, just so this metal doesn't cut everything up. But this isn't anything like these. So all these shelves so far, they're very, very sturdy. They're very, very good, but they are very, very sharp as well. So I've cut myself a lot putting these together, and had this pair of gloves. Actually, I'm going to put them on anyway. Better safe than sorry. Not going to hurt anything to have gloves on. But with the first couple sets of shelves, I think I made a few posts about it, but you're building them out of razor blades. I got a mallet over here too. Does seem like I'm gonna need that. So, give everything a nice solid whack, and definitely gonna need to move quick so that nothing falls down. There we go. Man, did you guys see that? Set of accessory packs from? I want to say like the RCI era, maybe the. Oh, I wish I had exact details. It's that set that Smokey was looking at last night. It went to something like $1,000 for 3 pretty bad shape accessory packets where you could see, looking at them, there were holes in them. You could see there was stuff inside that had fully gone bad in terms of there's probably candy and etc. that melted and came through. there were holes where absolutely were bugs that went into those. And knowing that they're the paper ones with cigarettes inside, you know, those things probably got all sorts of eaten up by weevils. And yet there's folks out there willing to pay $1,000 for something like that. You know, the ration collecting community certainly didn't start out as you know, where you run into folks willing to drop that kind of cash on something collector wise, but it's getting there. You gotta really watch for the better, you know, the better deals, and you know, bide your time, or else you'll end up contributing to this, you know, crazy price gouging that's going on. Well, I mean, maybe it's not gouging if everybody's willing to pay it. I guess it's just you know, just the way it goes. Let's see. This seems a little. I guess I'll go one higher here. At first, I wasn't sure if I was going to need this mallet, but yeah, it's definitely a little harder than it looks to get some of these socketed in. Let's see, is this even going? You can't really see too much. Let me get a better angle here. Apologies to anybody who gets motion sick whenever I'm doing this. All right, let's see, we'll do that. And I'm going to move some stuff around while I got a chance. Hey, Henry MRE Rations, welcome. Oh, good to see anybody with MRE in the name. Let's see, we're just going to move a few things around here, so I have a little more space. This is that camera that didn't quite work out this week. It's the same model and everything, but everything in here is wireless, and I have a feeling that there's only so much bandwidth for the wireless stuff at once. You know, every week I have 100 things I know I could do to make everything in here better. And I just got to get one or two of them done each time. And we just constantly move forward. You know? Nothing gets done all at once. And that's okay. Anything worth doing is worth doing right and at the right pace. You know, and as we get more and more folks that can come and help in person, and as I get more organized and can actually write this stuff down, so the folks that are already willing to help have something to dive into, you know, we'll keep on plugging along. So, let's see. Yeah, I mean, right, Smitty? You can't really go wrong with ration right in the name. I mean, I guess you can, but I'm a big fan of anybody that's out there. Unless their whole point is, like, to spread the word that rations are terrible or something. I don't know. I was talking to Smokey. I was talking to Smokey on Sunday, I guess, or I mean on Saturday. Yeah, I was talking to Smokey on Saturday. Let's see, we'll get a better angle on this. About, you know, just some of the best rations we've had. And, you know, was just still thinking about some of the, MRE Nation ones from back when you could do the build your owns. Whew, you know, talk about good rations. You know, when it was still like the MRE Star components and the, you know, you could put together the international stuff. You could say, I want a British main and an Italian snack and, you know, whatever else. That was really good. You know, the halal rations have always been really, really good. Albeit, you know, they don't last for forever because they're not, you know, as preservative heavy, but definitely good. Guess it doesn't matter which side goes in here. Both smooth. I really like this shelf. This is easily the best one so far. And this was just because the ones that I was ordering were sold out or back ordered or were going to take better part of a year or something to get here, you know. The old saying, coworkers expecting their first child and they've already got a camo onesie for them. That's great. And you got to start as early as you can, or you know, everybody in the world's going to see it, especially with this you know, Facebook generation and all that. You gotta hide your kids for a while, at least from the internet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Yeah, I haven't tried all of them yet, Kaylin. I really want to at some point if I get my hands on a fresh case someday. The lamb ones were the ones that always interested me most. Although the chicken ones are great, everything's great. Let's see. Slowly move this up as we work a little higher on this. Same with this. All right. So I've been thinking about segments for the show instead of just being freeform every time. I don't know if you guys would like it more or less, but I was thinking about having some way that folks can submit questions before the show so we could have like an Ask the Museum segment or something. I definitely want to do, I think I've mentioned before, a segment where we shout out a company that has been involved in ration production for the U.S. You know, like, always pops to mind, you know, shout out D.D. Bean and Sons, that kind of thing. But like, actually talk about their company, their history, you know, and you know, make sure that you know, that there's folks out. I mean, make sure that people know, you know, when a company like that is making the effort to help, you know, to help their country out, to you know, to produce something of good quality for the military to use. Oh, okay. I messed something up already. So, I'm supposed to put this through here. I was just kind of trying to match the shelving. Most of them so far came with a linkage, or all of them so far came with a linkage that ties the posts themselves together, whereas this one is looking to use the shelf. So, I'm going to have to pull that out and put it together again, one stage higher. And then I might want to pull these out. I might want to leave them there. I've been making the bottom shelf the widest one for bigger stuff, so I might redo those too. So, So far, I've liked these shelves, but this doesn't seem like the absolute best way to put this part together. To be honest here, seems a little awkward. Oops. Sorry about that in advance. Or, I mean, sorry, well, not in advance. In advance means before you make the noise, Sean. No, sorry about that in general. Probably be a better way. When I first got here, I was thinking, oh, I'll get all these shelves built. I'll get, you know, all the kinds of stuff done before the stream starts, but so rarely possible. So this just doesn't seem super sturdy. This thing can slip over the one below it. Let me see. Is that really what? Start by adding a wood shelf to the level previously built, etc., etc. Yeah, that's what it wants us to do, is tie these together like this. So this is where it gets tricksy. And we'll see. Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm afraid of. I'm going to bend everything. Started, I should be able to jump up to the next level before hammering these together, and maybe that'll hold it off. Oh, nope. See, I mean, it's just, this doesn't seem that great. Look at that. This was going pretty good there. Let me get all these to the right spot. Without hammering them down, at least. Maybe do a couple at a time. Let's see. Yeah, somebody's saying it'll probably lock itself together more once there's a shelf on it. That makes sense. You know, it's going to kind of press out into it. I hope. Just making these things line up, it's like you have to have the half millimeter thick metal sit 100% on top of the other one, or it just slips right on by and everything bends. Alright, like that seems pretty rigid. You know, and this time I'm not looking to mess it up. I'm going to go straight up to the top. Let's see if maybe doing this is a good idea. Probably not. All right, starting to hold together a little better. Let's see. We got. Oops, sorry. Oh, I thought Angry Blacksmith. I thought you were saying you got a Carcano. What's a Crocodile? Crocono? Boarding Canadian Tire. I must have missed something. Yeah, with some of these, what I was doing was, oh no. Thought that was going to fall and hit me in the head. some of these, what I was doing was building the upper section completely and then raising it and putting it down on top of the lower section. But that doesn't seem like it's going to work out here just because of this. Although maybe it would. Oh man, I'm gonna get hurt by this thing. There's sharp chunks everywhere. These things are falling at angles. This is a very awkward build. I don't know what the plan was with this. Yeah, I mean, just so you guys are seeing, like that's literally all we got in terms of the top and bottom linking together. We got each beam and brace must be placed in the top hole of the bottom post and the bottom hole of the top post. After all beams and braces are eye place, of course not in place, tap lightly to properly seat rivets. Yeah, you just lightly stand, you know, a millimeter wide pole on top of another millimeter wide pole, and it'll just stay there by magic. Apparently, is their build plan. Definitely some element of magic expected to work here, because they're just too thin to stand on their own. I mean, everywhere I move, this thing is getting ready to fall. Let's see, get a slightly better angle on this whole segment. All right, maybe if I put a board directly in there. No, I mean, it's gonna break stuff if it keeps doing this. There's really nothing else I can do to stabilize this other than maybe build the whole top first. Start with two, put the support between them, and then put another one on, add that support. That's what I was trying to do, and then they kept swinging back into my head. It's just, there's nothing that makes these things stay except for the next layer of post, which I feel like if I can just get this in there all the way around, we might be in business. We can start tapping down the previous layer. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Come on. All right, almost have another layer on. Okay, this is feeling slightly sturdier. Next shelf, we're going to try building to this point and then lifting the whole thing, I think. All right. You know, this one just came apart to some degree. And then I think about it with, like, you know, a case on top of it, or a couple cases on top, like up here. Feels like it's going to push these things apart, but that's better. It's definitely better. So that actually worked out okay. Now we got that pretty sturdy. That's funny. Didn't expect that to actually work. Nothing popping over. Everything holding steady. Hopefully that shelf wasn't ridiculously too high. I mean, we got a big shelf, small shelf. I don't know. We'll see. Got another layer to build. Hey, Zeno. Welcome. Welcome. Good to see you. Hope everybody's, I mean, I know that for the most part we're pretty much a club of ration enthusiasts that get together, say our howdies, make sure everybody else is having a good week and all that. So, even though this is just a construction stream, I'm sure you guys are all still happy to see each other after the week and all that. So. Yossi, if you're still here, I was just thinking, I saw a review for a Mannock Krav the other day that I haven't seen one of those in a very long time. Does the IDF still have a 5-man ration? If you happen to be there, if anybody else knows, feel free to jump in. I haven't looked in a while. It had like loof and canned fish and all that stuff. Some pretty angry knocks. Let me turn this down just a little bit this week. Maybe that'll be a little better, but I'm sure this is going to be a loud stream compared to some of the others. But it's necessary. I want to make sure everything in here lasts. The other thing I might do this week, if we get enough time, is plastic cover everything. Just, you never know. I mean, say somebody else in the building sets off all the sprinklers one day. God, that'd be terrible to not be ahead of that. Hey, look. So I found a bunch of these. Not a bunch. I found 3 of these in my house. At some point, I'm going to bust one of these back open. So these are from 2000. I want to say 13. I'm not sure. Actually, so there's a date on the bottom, actually. I'm not sure if this is expiration or date of manufacture. I'm going to assume manufacture. It's 14/05/15, so May 2015. Might have been the Best Buy, might have been the date of manufacture, but these are the German ASMC.de trekking burgers. They were terrible 5 years ago, 6 years ago, probably still terrible now. Let's see. It's funny, these actually still work on the touch screen. Alright, so we've got kind of random shelf spacing, if you ask me. I might move this shelf down now that I have it a little more stable. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. We got 2, 4, 6, 8. So we got 8, 11, 11, 9. So if I came up 1, we'd have 9, 10. And if I came down 1, we'd have 10 and 10. So then I have 9, 10, 10, 10. That's fine. That'll work. A lot more banging around. but I'll try and be quick about it, and then we know exactly where we want to build the next set. I probably should have counted these before all this, but I was a little more interested in not having everything fall over. Alright, so now we got 2, 4, 6, 8. Wait. Oh, I went the wrong way. Alright, so now we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Alright, that'll be good for the upper half. See, Yossi says, yes, it's mostly cans of corn and chocolate and olives and dried fruits and separate bread. Yeah, there's a lot of rations where they separate the bread units and stuff. But yeah, a lot of canned stuff. But you know, it's you know, like they say, everything tastes good when you're hungry. So Yossi, did you ever? I think it's compulsory. So did you serve in the IDF? Are you still in? Have you ever tried the Mannock crab yourself? Hope you don't mind the 20 questions. Just always interested. You know, there's somebody new from somewhere far away in the chat. I know tonight we've got Corey's in the UK. Well, Corey's in England. We've got Michelle in Scotland, and I'm sure some of y'all are outside the US. We got Smitty in Canada. Oh, well, now we don't got Smitty in Canada. Have a good rest of your night, Smitty. Thanks again for coming by. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to move this one up one set. So, just going to pop this set out. Move it up. Single set of pegs. Go. And by single set, I meant one on one side, two on the other. There we go. That's why that was a little awkward. Pop in there. So something else I got to work on for the museum this week, or something else I not got to work on, got to pick up for the museum. Probably not going to be here by next weekend. We'll see. But I snagged a powered, rotating, like a Lazy Susan with left and right, and you know, just a slow automatic electric motor, like rotating. So I'm getting that, and I'm gonna have some foam board backed scanning plates made from, if you guys remember, about a month back, maybe a little more actually. I was 3D scanning just a couple quick things, and the process was a little shaky, and we're moving it by hand. But I want to have the camera in a fixed position and have an electric turntable spinning everything very slowly, and put the plate on there that has the grid and everything. Put the object on that, and do each layer just as one quick, one little adjustment, and lock in position and let it rotate a few times and get a really clean scan. And then do everything upside down and then mesh those together. So we're going to do a stream on that soon, and hopefully get some really nice scans in. The first ones weren't bad by any means, but they're just a quick test. And with the hand, with my hand shaking around and all that, like, they certainly weren't the absolute clearest, best we could have made. So it was just a proof of concept. So soon we'll get to actually make some 3D scans that we can be proud of, and that we can start sharing on behalf of the museum, and hopefully, folks will start wanting to use them in their own projects, for games, for virtual stuff, for exhibits, for whatever they want to do. And then we'll use them ourselves in our own virtual projects. But I'm thinking that can be something the museum gets to provide to people. Good, high-quality 3D assets of rations. And plus, it'll be one of the most complete visions of any particular ration out there. So, remember how I skipped the first layer? That's probably a bad move, because now this one's just one less than the rest. But honestly, I'm fine with that. I'm going to leave this a 9, 10, 10, 10, just so there's a little gap here, because you never know if anything were to happen. I'm glad there, I'd be happy there's a few inches. We are underground. A few inches of gap between the floor and the first layer is what I meant to say there. So, checking in on chat again. Yossi was in the Air Force as an aircraft technician. Yep, cool. That's, it's a very different concept to us over here. And to be honest, I'm glad we don't have default conscription. But in Israel specifically, it does really seem like it's kind of a rite of passage, kind of a a maturing portion, step in your lives. So I can understand, that there's benefit to it and that sort of thing, in terms of feeling unity as a country and feeling the, and having some connection to, the process that goes on behind the scenes for the rest, for most of us, in terms of the way we think about it for defending our nation. But, I still would prefer a voluntary military service. But conscription isn't limited to just a few places. It is more the default than otherwise. Let's see. How's the weather been over there in Great Britain? It's I know it's historically pretty mild over there in the winters compared to say like the northern United States, but I haven't really been checking how this particular winter's been going for you. And so this is what I'm talking about. I'm hearing this scraping on the floor, whereas the other shelves all have these nice little plastic pads to keep from having that happen. I just want to move these a little bit at a time so that I don't pop them apart or start pulling up tiles or anything. That's not working out. There's another trick. So I don't have anything great to do this with, but this will do. I'm just going to take this piece of cardboard. I'm going to slip it under one end, and then I'm going to lift and pull to where I want it, and then I'll pop that cardboard back out. So, a little wider than I thought they'd be. This is where I'm looking to have it. This will be kind of like an end cap one. So I was going to put one on the edge here, and then the other one, you know, over in this gap over here. So I'll set this one up, and then we'll have a little space. We'll have a space left to build the next one. But in the meantime, I'm going to need to move some of this stuff onto our new shelf. Let's see. Hate the cold over there. Yeah, I can imagine. If you're not used to it, it just gets right into your bones. You know, you just... In Montana, I don't know how, but we just got used to incredibly cold temperatures compared to everywhere else I've ever lived. You know, like I've been in negative 50 in Montana, in West Yellowstone. In Bozeman, where I lived, it would get down to negative 25. You know, I think once or twice in the 10 years I was there, it got to like negative 30, negative 35. But yeah, that's, I mean, Fahrenheit. So, shoot, I don't know where that stands. I want to say negative 30 Fahrenheit is negative 30 Celsius. Something like that is where they overlap. But, you know, right now it's about 30 degrees in Philly. So imagine 80 degrees colder than that. And it already feels cold out here. You know, when I was in Montana, you just wouldn't feel it. You know, you get used to just going outside in shorts and a t-shirt at 30 degrees and thinking, oh man, it's spring already, this is great. But, you know, it's relative. It's just relative. Even in the much colder weather so long, all of a sudden 30 degrees seems great. But here, it's like it just gets into your bones. It's more humid. So the cold just affects you more. This is an empty box. We can put this somewhere else. That's just a box for the heater. Sorry about that. Let me do. Nope, not that one. Samsung Solar. There we go. So that's just a box for one of the in Humvee heaters that we've got over here. Actually, let me step out of the way. You can see in the corner there. Zeno, thanks for stopping by. Oh wait, I saw. Wait, you taking off? Somebody said enjoy your week, so I thought maybe that's what you're doing, but don't see you saying bye, so never mind there. Oh hey, J-Dub. When I was in here trying to set up some more Instagram stuff and trying to fix up Twitter and fix up our pictures on stuff, I ate that Fruity Pebbles candy bar from you last week, or that you had sent last week. That thing was really good. Tastes like, you know, well, I guess Fruity Pebbles, but I don't have much of a experience with those. To me, it tastes like crushed up Fruit Loops inside white chocolate. And, you know, I got nothing bad to say about that. That was really good. Tempted to eat a lot of this stuff. If I do that stream next week from home with one of these restorations, we'll be baking those bentos pies at the same time. I am definitely looking forward to those. So, all right, moving on to shelf number 2. So one of these sets of shelves, the like really thin set back there, I got these boxes and it looked just like the same size, but there were 2 shelves each, and it was amazing how they packed them all in there. The wood on those is much thinner, so I don't know that I'd say they're quite as good as the first set or this set in terms of strength, but they've been holding up just fine so far. All right, I'm going to hit mute and bang around a bunch of metal real quick and then unmute. All right, there we go. Much better, much better. Yeah, get yourselves a drink and a snack. Good idea. We're in it for the long haul. I'm so used to being careful with these things. Never ever putting a knife through them. I have a whole box of case bands, you know, for display and for taking an already open box and putting it back together. Let me see. Yeah, for like displaying stuff, for taking a box and putting it back together. It's you know, it's nice to have the original bands. I've even got some of the you know, the heavy wire bands. So I'm sure you could you know, you could get some anodized steel wire and you know, make a replacement for a C ration if you needed to, or for you know, an RCI before that. I mean, an MCI is what I meant when I said C ration, and then an RCI before that. They're all C rations, but bag of fish and chips. Well, enjoy, Corey. Let's see. So, starting into shelf number 2. And I'll have a bit of a comparison, actually, JW. I haven't had a meat pie in a while. So, yesterday, man, it's hard to tell what day it is sometimes. Today is Sunday. Sunday the 21st. So, yesterday, I had a Marie Callender's meat pie, beef, first time in years. So, I'll have a bit of an example to compare against in terms of like just what's available here in the States, which you know yourself being here, but I wanted to have something fresh in my mind. You know, I say that like I planned it. I gotta say I didn't plan it. I was at my grandparents and had the chance to eat one. My grandmother asked if I wanted a meat or pot pie before I left, and you know, it's just the universe lining things up again. I'm sure people usually use that phrase to describe more fortuitous and important kind of things, but for me, it's like, oh man, you know, the universe must know what's going on because I got a meat pie a week before I get to try some British meat pies. I also just realized I got to be careful about the floor in here. I don't want to nick it up. It doesn't look like I've done anything just yet, but you know, pounding this down and driving the corner points into the floor. Don't want to do it in the same spot a billion times. All right, we got the first layer done. We're going to do the same thing as the other one. Then have 9, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. So, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we'll do these two here as the next layer. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right. Corey's saying Seabrooks are doing limited edition fish and chip crisps. Tastes like fish and chips. You know, now that's another thing. And I know some of you guys do like snack exchanges and that kind of stuff. UK has us beat hands down in terms of like chips and crisps and stuff, snack-wise. Like we've got the same half dozen flavors everywhere you go. We've got regular, sour cream and onion, salt and vinegar, barbecue. And that's pretty much it as our like base flavors. Now, with some stuff we get a little, you know, a little more adventurous, like Doritos has all their flavors and Pringles has all their flavors. But even those, you know, they're pretty tame. In the UK, it's like, you know, everything in the world from onions to fish to prawns to, you know, crab chips to, you know, random entire meals as a chip, like steak and onion pie chips, you know, like just that kind of stuff. Just always fascinated me. Like Monster Munch, like all the flavors of Monster Munch. JW saying it goes to Cost Plus World Market. There was a place, I want to say it was called World Market when I was in Montana. Maybe it is the same thing. And it had all the different aisles for, you know, the different regions. And I could get some stuff pretty regularly and for a pretty good price in the States. It was my go-to for meat pates, you know, like pork loaf and like luncheon loaf kind of stuff, and then pates, like you'd get in most pizza-flavored crisps. Oh, man, Corey. So, like you'd... oh, I just lost my train of thought. Well, whatever it was. It'll come back to me. Nope, it's gone. Let's see, what was it you were just saying a second ago? Oh, World Market. That's right. You know, so they had... you know, they had like caviar and stuff for like $2-3 a bottle or a can or a little jar or whatever it happened to be, and they always had half a dozen pates, you know, things we would never come across. Like you can find pork pate here of a couple types, like, you know, Braunschweiger, but can't really find, you know, some of the other ones. Not that all of them are worth finding. Like I was never a fan of like a, you know, mackerel pate or lobster pate. They're just a little weird. I'm a big fan of you know, red and white meats as pates. Although I don't think I've ever seen it. Well, I guess chicken liver pate is a thing. I've definitely had chicken liver pate. Lay's fried pickle sour cream chips. That sounds good. You had a couple feet of snow in Scotland. Wow, that's got to be a bit of a shock to the locals. I was just wandering around, not Scotland. I was wandering around Ireland in VR last night or the night before. Everything blends together. It's pretty neat how fast all that's progressing. So let's see. I'm thinking for this layer, we're gonna do a base layer first. We're gonna build the frame and then try and lift it all up and see how we go. Just because of how terrible the last one went. So We know it's going to be solid at the top. Got this freight. Oh, that's probably a terrible view. Let me just switch back to that for now. Oh, that for now. Yeah, tuna pate. I can't remember if I like tuna pate, Kaylin. It's been a little while. I think I do. You know, hard to remember. The fish ones just seem a little, you know, like thin. Not, no, I don't know. It's hard to describe. Like thick, not thin. A little more fluffy, a little more airy than like pork pate or goose pate or duck pate or something like that. You know, and over here, meat and crackers is totally normal, but spreadable meat and crackers is a lot less common. Let's see. Oh no, I'm not talking to you, Google. Last. Tried to remember to bring the watch today so that if I got any texts or calls during this, I wouldn't miss them. But I keep accidentally triggering the talking function. I did turn the mic back on, right? Okay, yeah. So let's see, how wrong was I? It's like, we'll get these both done in the first hour. Looks like almost 6:30, so I'm very wrong. Rabbit pate out of an RCR, or RCIR. I don't think I've had rabbit pate. You're saying it wasn't that good? I like rabbit. I really do like eating rabbit. It's been a while since I've gotten eaten it, but last spring, probably January or February, there's a Chinese restaurant across the street, Han Dynasty, that they do a whole rabbit or a half rabbit. It's really good. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. One of the more difficult dishes. Huh, just heard somebody shouting, hopefully not for me. Almost. Put that over there. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, so almost done with this other layer here. So, let's see how crazy this idea is. I'm going to get that series attached there. This does seem like it'll be a little awkward to put together at first, but it might work. I hope it works. Alright. Two out of 8. Only a little blood so far. 4 out of 8. You know, I'm going to tap these in already, just might as well. You know, this is going to work. This is going to work, guys. Much better than the last time around. Just got to get these pop back out and pop back in. Line them up a little better. And final set, and no more hammer noises. There we go. Whew. Alright, so when I first got here today, my biggest problem was that it was freezing in here. Starting to sweat. Hey Dub C, welcome. Hope you're having a great Sunday. You know, we got a construction stream going today. Just a little stream of consciousness chat while we're doing some of the everyday background work that keeps the museum moving. Namely, getting closer to actually organizing everything and having less and less still unsorted or in stacks. All right, so let's see. Give you guys a little clear long distance shot. There we go. Look at whole new big old shelf. So gonna try and get this. So I haven't been using the gimbal because it just felt like a whole lot of extra effort to get it set up, and then it didn't really add too much in terms of stabilization on the pole. As long as I don't keep bumping the thing, it stays pretty stable. Haven't had rabbits since you were a kid. Oh, let's see. Oh, first real nick so far. Just a little one. Honestly, compared to the razor blade experience with the other one, this is pretty good. Not the other one of these, the other shelf. All right, so gotta move stuff from back here in order to get the shelf back here. Let's see. Some of this stuff isn't in the needs work pile. Some of this is just spillover rations I couldn't fit on other shelves, it looks like. We got that box of drinks from last week. Down at the bottom was totems and halals and all kinds of stuff. These are I want to say these are all the pound cakes and nut rolls. Yep. Lots and lots of those. This was for Viper GTS. Haven't seen him in a little while. Tried to get his address so I could send that out. If anybody knows it, send me a message. Or anybody knows him, just poke him. Let him know I'm looking to send him one of those food packet survival general purpose. This is the contents of the small detachment 5 persons box we've got in the collection. This is a military Underwood typewriter from 1951. In poor condition, unfortunately. You know, it's cast iron, and it had been split in half in the actual cast iron part, and the front plate's missing. But overall, it's a neat example, and it can be set together where the crack, you know, it becomes invisible, but yeah, it'll never be a typewriter. Ooh. Gonna need that same trick again with the cardboard underneath. So, just a sheet of cardboard wide enough. Of course, I put everything on here. That wasn't a great idea. I'm going to move some of it over to this one. Let's see. Double check chat. All right, Corey. All right. Got to do some organizing. I get you. Giving each shelf a letter and number and all that. I follow. I've got this thing too when we get that far to start printing out, you know, indexed scannable labels for all of these boxes. You know, for the most part, we are getting pretty organized, but you know, yeah, not everything has, or nothing has a like collection labeling system or anything like that just yet. So, you know, getting there. Thanks for the reminder though that we need that. Oh, Viper was here and he's on Slack a lot. I got to reach back out. I know the last I messaged him was on Slack, but same kind of thing I was saying earlier. If like you're gone for more than 10,000 messages across the Slack, then you know you might miss it. All right, squeezing back here. Oh wait, no. First, I'm gonna move these. Be less stupid. Sean, come on now. Heavy stuff doesn't need to go on the thing that I'm currently sliding around. General purpose survival rats, UGR, canned juice, IMPs, civilian MCIs. Is that what's in here? Not really. Got a whole bunch of these in here. The Charlie ration, the unofficial, they were originally the unofficial Charlie ration cookbook. These are all MRE cookbook. I have like 4 or 5 generations of these, but right here I have looks like 6 of this particular generation that was mailed out. don't want to get blood on these. I got to take care of that in a second. But I like these things. So these were, these were not official production of the U.S. military. They were made by the Mickle-Henny Corporation. So they were. Oh no, what's the comic? Beetle Bailey. So Beetle Bailey and Tabasco got together to make these over years and years and years, and there's a bunch of editions where there'll be for a specific generation of rations where it'll say, like, for this recipe, you need a menu 2 and a menu 12, and you'll combine them together and make something that's, a little different. So, as a for instance, let's see, menu 1. We've got paratrooper pork and beans, combat canapes, outpost ham and chicken loaf, peanut. Oh wait, no, that's the other side. So we've got two meals you can make with menu 1. Let's see. The paratrooper pork and beans needs 1 pork patty, 1 pouch beans and tomato sauce, 1 envelope dehydrated ketchup, and or ketchup, and 1 Tabasco. So let's see. Doesn't say off the top which other menu you gotta grab for the other items. I guess it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get it from a menu number 1. It seems like, yeah, because the next one isn't pork at all. These are just, making the main and making the side out of other things. Like the combat canapes takes 4 spoons of pineapple or applesauce, an envelope of peanut butter, an envelope of apple jelly, and some crackers. And you're supposed to combine the peanut butter and applesauce and jelly all together, and then spread that on crackers evenly. So peanut butter, applesauce, and jelly, or peanut butter, pineapple, and jelly. That's interesting. Wouldn't have thought of that. Ham and chicken loaf has got cheese spread, Tabasco, and not all of these have Tabasco, but they do try and get it in there as much as they can. So cheese spread, Tabasco, 1 spoon of mustard, 1 pouch of ham and chicken loaf, and you combine the cheese, the Tabasco, add mustard if you've got it, and mix well. And then you serve the sauce over the ham and chicken loaf after it's been warmed up. So, interesting. Cheese and Tabasco and mustard. And then it does say on some of these, let's see, you can see, like the cheese, it'll say, oh, come on. Didn't mean to bump the camera there. Like on the cheese, it'll say 1 envelope cheese spread. You can find it in menu 1, 3, 8, 9, or 11. The peanut butter can be found in 2, 4, 5, or 12. Apple jelly in 6, 7, or 10. The tomato sauce or beans and tomato sauce is in 3, 6, or 8. It's I know I've been rambling about this book for a bit, but I really like these, and I do want to eventually have one of every generation, at least. So hopefully can use some of the extras we've got as trading fodder for more of those down the road. I need to find a paper towel or something, or I am going to get blood on some of these rations. Nothing handy there. There. Well, just going to go the old-fashioned way. All right, good enough. Hopefully. Hey, Viper. Oh, I was just saying. No, I don't owe you anything. I wanted to give you one of these. Oh, box stuff. You're not going to be able to see it. I was doing some mailing out a while back, and I wanted to send you one of these to eat, so you don't have to worry about the ones in your collection, and so you can enjoy it at some point. Yeah, just hit me up on the Slack. Just to, not an exchange, not a, not something owed or anything, just for fun. Since I have like 30 of them, Yeah, the cardboard one. And whether you want to keep it in a collection or whether you want to eat it, up to you. Let's see. All right. So I'll put these back in here and finish trying to get this over in the corner now that it's not loaded down with the heaviest things in the world. Now there's a particular kind of scent in here of stay still. The taller I make it, the more easily it's gonna shift around. But yeah, there's a particular scent of like paper and now fresh wood and like motor oil and bread, and I mean it's an really interesting room to be in, smell wise, and not in a bad way. There's nothing in here that smells rotten or rough. It smells like, I guess, a museum should. Another one that popped off. There we go. Alright, there we go. I was wondering if I could fit another one in here. I definitely can't. It's almost big enough. But using this box as a measure, we got, see, up to here on the box. If I were to come in here, compare that. Actually, that's exactly. I mean, that's just about right. Maybe a quarter inch, half an inch too short. That's a shame. I don't know. I'd like to, I'd be happier if this thing was over there, but I think it's just barely too short. Although I do have room down there, so maybe I will be able to shift these. But I think I'll need Nick's help for that one. So I might move this shelf over there. And then we'll still have a lot of space around in here. But for the most part, this is an archive room. This isn't, a day-to-day working office. So it's going to get pretty full. Whew. Let's see. Oh, Corey, I started writing a response. I did get to look through your last couple messages. Wow, man. Oh, my gosh. Can't wait. That's super exciting. I definitely need to get you a couple things. I know I've got, I want to get you that 96 Dunkin's, and then the, I think the lasagna MCW, and then, we'll dig through the pile and probably get you some more stuff that's harder to find. But that's super nice of you sending stuff for the museum like that. I can't, it still hits me like, I just don't expect the generosity, and it's just so nice. Everybody in this group is the best. Back to what I was saying, like maybe an hour ago, or maybe half an hour ago, I do want to have segments on the show to the effect of like, saluting some company that's been involved in ration production. I want to have kind of a like special thanks section at the end for everybody that's, been coming every week, and everybody that's donated something, and that sort of thing. Want to try and have like a ration news segment, because there's always something going on in the ration world. I've been keeping my eye on like Mill News and formerly Stars and Stripes. I mean, I guess it's still there. Hopefully, well, I don't know. With the new administration, we'll see. Maybe that doesn't get fully canceled. But if anybody runs into anything that's interesting like that, by all means, send me an email at sean@rationmuseum.com, or join the Discord and send me a message on there. Or you can find me on MRE Info Slack and send me a message there. Tweet at Ration Museum, whatever you happen to find. By all means, share it. We're going to be trying to find stuff on our own, but Ask Ration Museum. I want to have more of a structure to this and have something folks can engage with them yourselves, like something where you guys can feel more connected to the stream and it feels a little less haphazard week to week. Yeah, I was saying, I looked at your list, Corey, and you're like, if there's anything else, I'm like, that'll be one of the most fantastic things I'll ever have received. So like, you don't got to continue to outdo yourself. If the box is full, the box is full. All right, so here's stuff we've got to do some restoration on. Sticking my head in here probably isn't super safe. There's rotting, bulging, all kinds of things. Like here's under pressure beans and tomato sauce. There's a reason that I have it in this bag. It's one of those things that's potentially pretty likely to explode on at any given moment, especially if there's a change in temperature or anything like that. So don't want that ending up everywhere. This one we've got a couple things. We've got an RCI that needs restoration. We've got an RCI that needs restoration where the box is mostly deteriorated. We've got a Sopacco civilian MR or civilian MCI from probably the late 70s, early 80s, if I were to just guess looking at it. But we'll figure out exactly when I pull this one out for restoration. And then I popped this out from there. This was, as you can see, not. Oh, let me see. There we go. So this is the main from that civilian Sopacco. This is chicken Brunswick stew. Let's see, chicken Brunswick stew, and it has definitely started to escape the confines of its metallic prison there. So that's one that's going to need some restoration, or those are two that are going to need some restoration. The RCI's still got a pretty good looking can of sausage in there, and a couple other good cans that the tops are in decent shape, the bottom's not so much. So we're going to try and keep as much as we can of the cans themselves so that they can be displayed. And for the most part, if you have one of these old olive drab cans and you cut it out from the bottom, it's still going to be, it's still going to look fantastic in a display as long as the writing's good and there's, you get all the, the corrosion and that kind of stuff off. And unlike, cleaning up an old gun, I don't think there's anybody that's going to fault anyone for getting rotten food off of an old can, in this community at least. Like if you take a 120-year-old pistol and you scrub it down to clean metal, a lot of people are going to get upset about that in the collector world because they want that patina on there. But I don't look at, damage to canned rations as patina. You can look at the changing of the metal itself, or the changing of the colors, or maybe on like Civil War era stuff they're gonna rust over, but that's patina. Like a Civil War can that's just rusted, because it wasn't stainless or anything like that. That's patina. I wouldn't scrape that off. I wouldn't wreck that. But anything where it's just leaked out, rotting food material that's stuck to the outside of something, let's get that off of there, and the can will last a lot longer. Let's see. Questions with K-Man. Oh, that'd be great. You know, Kenton is one of the most knowledgeable folks about rations in the world. I gotta say. I mean, he's been running MRE info a heck of a lot longer than I've been collecting. You know, if that says anything. I've been a big fan of rations for years and years and years. I started actually collecting in earnest probably around 2007 or so, and probably got on the MRE info site. I don't think even that early. I think a few years later than that, 2010 or later. And you know, there's just so many thousands and thousands of good posts on there. But you know, over time, I fell out of the habit of going there every day and, you know, refreshing and checking the new unread ones and staying in the conversations. But he hasn't. He's there all the time, staying in touch, you know, discussing the really interesting mysteries about the rations and all that. I'm sure that'd be a great segment. I'm not going to speak for anybody else, though, in terms of, like, joining up with the stream and all that. Ooh, this is rotting. That's a shame. Just want to keep that on its own. That whole corner of that one is soft and nasty. There's some mold coming through. I think both of those are mid-90s cases. Maybe 97 or something. I've got to double check, but I want to restore or keep in okay shape whatever I can from those. You know, that's the point of most of these. So this is not actual organization on the shelves. Just saying, this is just not having things stacked on top of each other on the floor anymore. You know, the more I look at this gap, I am going to try and get this shelf over in there. Just not today. Going to need some help for that one. Oof, let's see. Where are we at? Oh, wow. That was 2 hours of building shelves almost already. Hey, Corey, were you here when I finally got those when I finally got these serving plates from good old Ed 33 or whatever? I'm not sure. So they're pretty similar to the serving trays that were in that officer's nest that I've got. They're filthy, and I'm gonna need to clean them up. It looks like bird droppings or something on them, or maybe they made it through a meal and never got cleaned up. But hey, finally did get them. I got let's see, 11. Looks like 11 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I got 11 of these things. You know, they're not too deep, not too shallow. They're all stamped B and SB 1987. Well, actually, no, they're not all stamped that. But this one's B and SB 1984. 15 centimeter. I do need a measuring stick in here at some point. You know, when I take official photos to go into our catalog management system, you know, when we have, you know, locations and numbers and all that for the collection, I'm going to need to have, you know, a means of measuring on all those photos just to make it less, or make it more obvious how big these things actually are. You're getting you're getting a whole GP case? Oh, an empty case. Oh, nice. I hope you get some more of the Duncans you're looking for. Joe, you're the real MVP. Thank you. I will not forget this time. So what are we thinking? Do we want to start with so one of these boxes is the whole contents of a case of MCIs. I got to figure out which one of those, which one that is. We want to start with the RCI for restoration, or do we want to? I'm thinking maybe we take the RCI and this box of general cans that all have some kind of problem. Ooh, there is cheese smell coming out of this box, something fierce. Let me see if I can find the other box of MCIs that's going to need some help. Oh, it's this one. It's this one right here. So this was a fairly recent find. Let's see how bad this one was. Actually, this isn't looking too bad. Maybe this wasn't the bad one. It's a lot of dirt, but that one's bad. That one's bad. That one's bad. That one's empty. That one's empty. That one's mostly empty. And there's bits and pieces that need work throughout. So this one needs a lot of work. It's a whole C case. I know I have another one. I think I'm going to take home a couple things. Let's see. We've got this case of C's. We've got this RCI. I think that's what I'll take this time. So we'll have a couple things to work on there. Hey, Gunner, how you doing? Let's see. We've been having this super exciting shelf building stream. Got 2 more shelves in here. This one and this one. Cleaned up the stack that we got going on there and picked out some stuff that we're going to take back for an at-home stream next week. So no longer a question of whether or not it's an at-home stream. Definitely is. Excuse me. Only question is going to be whether it's 2-hour or 4-hour. I've got a lot cut out. I have no idea how long it's going to take to do proper restoration. Stop shaking. Sorry. I guess it's just going to wobble a little. But I have no idea how long it's going to take to do proper restoration on, that whole case and on a few of these other things. So I think I'll probably do another 4-hour stream next week. As with any of them, nobody should feel obligated to show up for 4 whole hours. That's a lot of time. So it'll be 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to come in and out whenever, and we'll get some of these things cleaned up. And in the background, we're gonna fire up the oven, throw in 2 Fray Bentos pies. Let me grab them. Super excited to try these. Definitely can't forget to take these home. Thankfully, I'm now working in this building every day of the week again. So I mean every weekday again. So I have time to come snag some stuff if I forget it. But we got steak and kidney pie, and we've got steak and gravy pie. I'm very, very much excited. Both of these are the complete pie with the crust and everything. Cut the tops and pop them on in the oven. So got some tips from JW not to necessarily listen to the cans and to cook for a good chunk longer. So I'm excited. So you have an interesting definition of empty case, because You just said you got you're getting the empty case of 2003s with like 2 in it, and you got an empty case of MCIs with 1 in it. If there's 1 in it, it's not empty, is it? I mean, yeah. As far as MCIs go, let's see. Gonna pop this off. As far as the MCIs go, we've got nope, wrong aisle. Got a bunch of empty boxes up here. And we pulled them out and photographed them finally. So a handful of years represented there. And then that other one that we were just looking at, I want to say is a 79 or an 80 at the maybe a 78, but not an old one. Towards the end of their life. And then there's a case of individuals or 2 in among here that I'm going to need to double check on as well at some point. So we've got a handful, but I have bought at least 3 of those as empty boxes. It's always nice to find ones that aren't all blackened from the fruit cocktail or whatever it was, because that's what goes bad first. The chicken and stuff with the heavier sauces, that'll go bad, and I mean that'll start eating through the can. Anything with tomato base in it, like tomato, beans and tomatoes, or whatever the heck I was just saying a second ago, beans and franks and tomato sauce, that kind of stuff. And then the pear juice, the pears or peaches in cans, the pineapple, all that stuff eats the cans. It starts bleeding through into the whole rest of the case, dries out eventually, darkens over time. I mean, if you're lucky, you get one and it's already dried out. Otherwise, you have that tar, that sticks to these things that we're going to see some of in this case, and then gonna have to dig around and see where that other box is. But we do have another whole box of MCIs that need work. But just seeing this has a bunch of abandoned aircraft rations. It's got the hamburger buns. But yeah. So getting a little bit tired. It's been a long week. Been a long weekend. I'm gonna wind down and call this for tonight, but I'm really happy everybody showed up as always. It's getting to be the highlight of my week to come here and talk to you guys and make a little progress on this project. It's not gonna happen quick, and I think you guys can see though that every week we're a little closer, just a little bit at a time, and before you know it, this thing will be a real organization with dozens of folks furthering the progress, or furthering the the goal of collecting and sharing all this information and all this excitement about military food production. So let's see, last check on chat. What's in the Lrp box? That whole top shelf is empty boxes. Let's see. But I have boxes and boxes of the Lrps down below. That one big square one was actually full when I got it. There were 32 in there, so that was one of the best random deals I ever got. I think I picked up in total like 36 Lrps in the brown and green bags for $180 or something total. It was insane at the time. It was something like $5 or $6 a piece, and those will display well, and we have extras that we can trade, and they're good to trade just because they're edible. They're freeze-dried meals. I mean, granted, the orange cereal bars and the chocolate fudge discs and that kind of stuff, they're almost certainly all bad. But the mains are going to be edible unless there's a pinhole in them, or something else, and they're fully vacuum sealed and they're Oregon freeze dry and they're 1970s, 1980s, they're going to be fine. And I've had 2 so far over the years, and they're good. Let's see. So just saying goodbye and good night to everybody. Gail, thanks so much. I appreciate you coming every time. And yeah, absolutely. I was talking to Smokey yesterday about this too. We definitely need to get something in terms of like a get together, as soon as we can this year. As much as I want there to be more up and running, I think it'd be worth having folks here and getting together and having a face to face with anybody who can make it at some point. This year if we can. There's a good little hotel right around the corner with like a conference room, or I mean not a conference, like a rentable ballroom kind of thing that we might be able to use. I don't know. There's ideas, especially with everything the way it is this year. We might be able to get a pretty good deal on some group rates and on space, and maybe even get folks to to want to collaborate with us since we're a local museum right down the block. But you never know. So Yossi. Sorry if one of those is wrong. Well, I'm sure one of those is wrong, or all of those are wrong. But just wanted to say thanks again for coming and joining us. It's it's great to have as many folks as we can around the world joining in and sharing in our excitement of military food. So for everybody that tuned in this week, thanks again, and I'll see you from my place next Sunday. At 3 p.m. Eastern, going through to 7. Tune in around 5 or 6 for the Frey Bentos pies, and for the rest of it, we'll do some restoration work and see what we can save from some pretty bad condition rations that they're worth getting as long as you can save them. But everybody have a great rest of your Sunday night, and I'll see you again soon. Until then, stay rational.